Here we have the bird dog. So for this one, you want to go opposite arm, opposite leg. You want your leg to be straight, your arm to be straight. You want your toe pointed forwards, and you want to lock that opposite arm. So whatever arm is on the ground needs to be nice and straight. Next one, this is fire hydrant. Same thing with those arms, nice and straight. That opposite arm is going to want to bend. So knee is bent here, arms stay on the ground. You're lifting your leg up as high as you can. You'll notice at first these might be kind of hard, and you're only going to be able to get 3 to 4 inches at a time. This exercise I'm going to call a straight leg donkey kick. So one leg bent, arms straight in the front, one leg is straight, and you are going to kick that leg back, drive with your heel, keeping it as straight as possible, also keeping the arms straight. All 3 of these exercises, you want arms locked out. Next set of exercises is a series of plank holds. So here's our front plank. You're going to be on both your forearms. You want to be nice and straight. My head's actually a little high on that. Side plank, you're going to turn, feet stacked. Again, you're down on your forearm. Knuckles should be facing forward on this, and your shoulders should be stacked as well. You don't want to be rounded forward on this. You want to really pull that shoulder back so you're making a nice straight line. If a regular side plank is too hard, you want to do a modified version of the side plank so your knees are bent, feet are behind you. Here's our third and final plank hold. This one you want to do from a modified plank position with your knee bent, forearms still out, knuckles still facing forward, and you want to push your top leg up as high as you can and hold it up in the air. Okay, next series of exercises. We're just going to do 2 for this series. This is a side plank leg raise. Again, I'm in a modified plank position, and I'm doing leg raises, keeping that leg nice and straight. I'm going to switch to the other side, keeping it nice and straight, going as high as I can, trying to keep my form, as good as possible here. If you get really good at these, you can do them from a regular side plank. Second exercise is plank up downs. So this one, I'm going to go left hand first. So I go left to right. Same thing. Left to right. Back down. Right to left. Back down. You want to make sure you do this both ways. Getting into one of my favorite exercises. These are called glute bridges. You're going to push off your heels, drive your hips up, make sure that head stays on the ground. You're not hunching forward with your head. I check a few times because I like to look at my form and, other things. If you're not sure where exactly to put your heels, use the fingers of your tips to figure that out. Now we have our single leg glute bridge. Okay, so I'm again pushing off my heel. That other leg comes up, but I'm not, throwing up there using too much momentum. Again, pushing off my heel, trying to get those hips as high as I can. Third exercise, these are single leg raises. Point your toe forward, raise that leg up. You don't need to go all the way to 90 degrees on these. Nice, slow, and controlled. This is going to really activate your hip flexor. Some more core for you. So these you can do right out of that glute bridge position. You're going to pull your knees towards you, barely touch your feet on the ground, roll those hips just a little. All right, ceiling touches, same position, but now we're just reaching up, not leading with the head, okay? Lead with those arms. If you want to make this exercise harder, hold a book, hold a kid, have your kid hold a weight, whatever. Just something heavy in your hands is going to make this one harder. And you don't need to do a full sit-up either, just getting off the ground slightly. All right, most of us know this one. These are leg raises. We are trying to keep our legs nice and straight, and we're not using momentum. Once we get to the top, you don't need to go too crazy on these. All right, so if you want to make the leg raise harder, you're going to get a ball. And I know y'all got balls at your house, basketball, football, exercise ball. If you use a small ball, like a tennis ball, just be careful not to drop it and hit yourself in the face. But this is just going to make this a little harder, as well as add a little hand-eye coordination to it. All right, some of you are probably going to recognize this one. These are called inchworms. You're going to walk yourself out, and you're trying to keep your legs as straight as possible. It gets easier the closer you get to the bottom. And here at the end, I'm going to add in a push-up, and that's just something you can do to make it harder. And if you can't do a push-up, you can do a modified one and drop your knees down to the ground. Here's a single leg RDL. So yes, my shoes are off. You want to take your shoes off for this one. Nice, you're going to hinge. We're going to go nice and slow as we go down. Kick that opposite leg back. Back should be straight. It's hard to see mine, but it is straight, and your head doesn't want to hang here. Slight bend in the leg. And in a second here, I'm going to pop back up. Boom. You can be a little faster on the way up, but definitely working on your balance, working on all your stabilizers and hamstrings right here. All right, this is our second RDL. So now I've got my opposite arm back, and as I bring that leg forward and stand up, I'm going to drive that knee really high. I really like this one, and I'm actually trying to go fast on this. This is a fun one. You don't need any weight. You don't need any, anything extra, anything special. Okay, so this is RDL number 3. Now I've got some resistance. So if you have a quarantine buddy, you want to do this one with your quarantine buddy. He's giving me resistance on the way up, but I'm going nice and slow, controlled on the way down. Again, resistance on the way up. You can go opposite arm on this one, 2 arms, same side arm. I went opposite. I feel like it works your core a little bit more, but if you've never done this before, feel free to use 2 hands on this. It's a fun one. You'll definitely feel it in your leg. Keep those arms straight when you do that. And right here, if you don't have a quarantine buddy and you're not doing this with your kids or your parents or your friends, you're going to want to find something heavy in the house. I found just some bleach real quick. It was 7.5 pounds. Obviously, I could be holding 2 of those or quite a bit more, but hey, we're working with what we've got. And I'm just doing my RDLs. Nothing different. Form is the same. You're just adding a weight to it. If you guys have weights, add weights. If you don't, find a household item.